Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. My name is Dhika Andraresti Lazuardi and I'm from International Program on Science Education. So in this video, I will going to talk or discuss about a science material which is really interesting, and so let's go to the presentation. Video we are going to discuss about magnetism, and yes, it will be interesting. So next, what you guys think about magnetism? Maybe some of the word that might cross in your mind when we talk about magnetism. Maybe some of you guys will think about repulsion, attraction, iron, and also poles. And yes, all of the word will be discussed in the material. So, into the discussion, we are going to talk about properties of magnet, magnetic field, magnetization and demagnetization, implementation, and also Earth's magnetic field. So the first is properties of magnet. By seeing of the material, can you guys guess what we are going to talk? And yes, we are going to talk about the materials. So the magnets attract strongly only certain materials, such as iron, steel, nickel, and cobalt, and it is called as ferromagnetic materials. And then the next, the poles. The poles are the places in a magnet which magnet materials, such as iron filings, are attracted. They are near the ends of a bar magnet and occur in pairs of equal strength. Actually, the strength of the magnet is not only in the edge, or in this picture is in the white one, but it is from the edge into the center. It is have the same strength. And then the next is north and south poles. The North Pole always pointing roughly towards the Earth's North Pole. A magnet can therefore be used as a compass. So in this animation of compass, we can see in the middle there are the magnet, right? They have two different kind of color. The first is the red and the blue one. The red one is the North Pole and the blue one is the South Pole. So the North Pole of the magnet is always pointing to the up, and then the S or the South Pole is always pointing to the down in the compass. And then the next, the attraction and repulsion. If the end pole of a magnet is brought near the end pole of another magnet, repulsion occurs, and it will be happen in S with S. So in the simple, repulsion is occur when there is the same pole brought near, like N with N or S with S. And then for the attraction, the N and S poles always attract. So it means two different kind of pole. The first is N and the second one is S. And the next, the magnetic field. The space surrounding a magnet where it produces a magnetic force is called a magnetic field. The direction of the field at any point should be the direction of the force on an end pole. So in the simulation, you guys can see, right, the compass is moving from N to the S. So it indicates that the magnetic force always flow from N to the S. And then the other one which like circuit, it is the magnetic field. And then next, magnetization and demagnetization. So in here, this is the simulation of magnetization process. So the simplest one of the simple example of magnetization, the magnetization is by brought near the material that you want to make it as a magnet into the actual magnet. So in here, in this picture or simulation, I have two different kind of material. The first one is nail, and then the second one is paperclip. The nail is made from iron, and while the paperclip is made from steel. So we are going to see what happens with the nail first. When the nail is brought near to the magnet, the other materials will attract it too, and it will look like a chain. And then let's see when we are take away the first nails. So, and then when we take the first nail or the upper nail, the other nail will be broken down or falls down, and it will lose their magnetization. And then let's see what happened with the paper clips. And when the paper clips is brought near to the magnet, it will look like the same with the nails. It will look like a chain. However, when we are take the first paper clip, the other paper clips will remain attracted. It means that the paper clips still have the magnetism. And then the magnetic materials such as iron that magnetize easily but easily lose their magnetism are said to be soft. So in here, the magnetic materials have two different kinds, soft and hard. So the soft is easily lose their magnetism, and the hard is harder to lose their magnetism. So the hard one is used to make a permanent magnet, and then to magnetize the magnet, we can drop it or hit it. However, to magnetize in easy and quick way, you can use a heat process. So you just simply hit the magnet into the fire, like you guys burn it, and then you take it, and when you brought near to the, for example, iron sand, the iron sand that attracted is less than you before you hit it. You guys can try it at home, but be careful. And then the next is implementation of magnetism. So basically the magnet is used in our daily life, right? So the first example is for data storage. So in here is the picture of hard disk. In the hard disk, it contains a magnet which can storage our data, of course. And then the other example is health industry. So in here is the picture of MRI tools. So the MRI tools in this picture is the big white tools which like a ball, like right? And then so in here the MRI is just produce the electromagnetic, so it will take our bones picture. Yes, just the patient is just push or put into the tools, and then it will capture our picture. And then the next is the electron to cure the cancer, but actually it is quite difficult to see the actual picture of the tools because it just mostly just showing this picture. So I will explain here. So the electromagnetic field will be producing the heat, right? And then the heat itself will burn the cancer cell, and then the cancer cell will die. And then the next is in the household items. Yes, there is so many tools in our daily life which use magnet, and this is just a few example of them. The first is magnet, and yes, magnet is used in the speaker. And then the other example is in the screwdriver. So the magnet is contained in the edge of the screwdriver, so it will help us to take the nails or the screw away. And then the last example is the refrigerator. The magnet in refrigerator is located in the door, and then it makes the refrigerator more secure and look perfectly. And then the next, the Earth's magnetic fields. The Earth is a giant magnet and has its own magnetic field. The Earth's core is mainly made up of iron, one of the best magnetic materials. This core is continuously spinning at high speed, thus creating a huge magnetic field. So in this picture or the animation, you guys can see, right, the red one and and the blue one, right? So the red, it is indicate the north magnetic field and fields, and then the blue one is the south magnetic field. And yes, it is not the same with the actual earth poles, which is the earth poles, the north poles is located in the upper side, and then the south pole is located in the lower side. Yes. And then the phenomenon of magnetic field in our daily life. So the first is the aurora. Yes, the aurora is happen in both of the earth pole, like in the south and the north, and then it is happen because of the sun ray that have contact with the which approach earth and then have a contact with magnetic field, and then the contact itself produce the aurora. Yes, it is the what is it? The blue, the not the blue, the orange spot. It is where the aurora is located or produced, or we can see the aurora in, yeah. And then the other phenomenon is bird. Why bird? Because actually I want you guys to think about bird first. Have you ever wondered why bird can be migrate from one place to the other place, from north to the south, from south to the north? And yes, it is because the bird have their own GPS. The GPS itself is quite different with our GPS, because actually the bird have protein in their eyes which can help them to see the magnetic field, and then that's why they can see where the north and where there is the south. And the conclusion: magnet can only attract certain materials such as iron, cobalt, nickel, and steel. Magnets have two poles, and each poles have equal strength. Because of the principle, magnet can help our daily life. And then the next is quiz time. In here, I'm already put several questions in the G form, and I wish you guys already know the correct answer if you guys seeing this video. And I'm also provide the link in the description box. And let's go to the quiz time. That's all from me. I'm really sorry if there are any mistake in delivering the content, and good luck for the quiz, and see you later in the other video. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.